Previously on DICKS.
Fuck do you want? Let's find your stupid fucking dog. Haven't you ever felt like there was something missing from your life?
Kyle, I thought you were my best friend. Kyle, you were spoopy this whole time?
Looks like we found the wrong spoopy. Kyle grabbed the dog.
How do you even top something that stupid?
Wait!
You said twice this week.
No, wait!
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Kyle. Kyle! Dude, Kyle, it's been like 6 months.
Yeah, man, I've just kind of been doing my own thing for a while, but how about you? What have you been up to, man?
Well, I'm homeless now. Being homeless is something else. Rent never got paid after you left, so...
Kevin, I didn't pay the rent.
Huh. Neither did I.
Well, ever since the spoopy case ended, I was just off running with that fucking dog, and I just kept running, and it was like a Forrest Gump situation. I was just so filled with adrenaline that I just kept going and going. Like it was like my life finally had a purpose. It was just to keep fucking going. And then I met the girl of my dreams. We had this long, beautiful life together, just filled with love, and I loved her all the way up until the very end, though. And then I was by myself for a little while after she died, and that was hard. But once it was finally time, I just saw the light. I was going towards it, and I knew she was on the other side waiting for me. Then I felt something just pull at my ankle, and all of a sudden I was here. I got no idea how any of this shit is happening, man. But fuck.
Okay, Kyle. What I think happened is you ran with the dog a couple blocks down the road, passed out, got picked up by ecstasy ravers, and you haven't changed your clothes to tell me.
That is, it's actually a pretty likely story too. But whatever. Do you want to just try and get the house back or something?
I mean, I still have abandonment issues, for you leaving me for 6 months. But sure, let's do it. Let's get the house back.
All right. Sorry for those long-term issues, buddy. Hello, writer, director, editor, actor, musician. I'm a lot of things. Le Champion, Kyle Hendricks here. Anyway, enough with the goofy fucking intro. So, I've been watching a lot of professional wrestling lately. So, I just wanted to talk about dicks with you for a second. There are not a lot of times I can say sentences like that. So, the thing is that episode 1 is just about perfect in my eyes. It turned out exactly the way that I would have hoped it would. Given everything I had, which was no cameraman for most of it, a tripod. I had a camera lens, which did not have an autofocus. You could only manually focus it. And when you don't have a cameraman who knows how to use a camera, That means either having a bad cameraman or having no cameraman. It's pretty fucking hard to get shots. But the first one turned out pretty fucking great, and I love it. And I know a lot of people who love it, and that makes me very fucking happy that they enjoyed a thing that I made. And hopefully, well, I mean, you have to be one of those people if you're watching this. Otherwise, there's no reason for you to be watching this. And if you're still watching after I've been watching for or talking for a minute and a half, it's time to tell you that this episode is not going to end. And the reason why is because of the fucking coronavirus. So 2020 has been a weird year. It's been also the best year of my life. And so it's just been fucking nuts, man. So I just haven't had... Kevin and I did not have the time to keep filming. None of our friends had the time to keep filming. Our friends had big things going on in their lives, and the coronavirus. We had things going on in our lives and the coronavirus. And so we just never got to finish making it. And actually, I would have reshot, a lot, at least, of what you just saw. I love that beginning so much, but Kevin's hair looks so much different now, and so does mine, if we were to even finish it, but that can't happen. Because I'm actually going to be moving to Canada soon. So that has also changed everything. But let me tell you the story of DICKS, or at least the story that never got to be told. So I had big plans for DICKS, actually. So after, episode 1, of course, Spoopy takes over my body, or doesn't take over my body, shapeshifts into me and turns me into a broom. And so I killed Spoopy. So what was going to be a reveal was, episode 2 would have been Kevin and I trying to get the house back, and we end up fighting 2 serial killers who are squatting in our house, and we would try and return them for a reward so we could buy the house back, and we kind of end up winning, but we also kind of end up losing. I do have the full script. I can probably just it's on my Google Drive. Maybe I'll put a link to it below this if anyone is interested in reading that script for whatever reason. But so episode 2 is going to be like that. Episode 3 was going to be Kevin and I get hired by our friend Sam, who I wish could have been in it. Just like the 2 serial killers would have been played by my buddy Christian, who's been in a bunch of shit I've made, and my buddy Pierre, who's never been in anything I've made either. And so in episode 3, Kevin and I were going to be hired to find Bigfoot. It was going to turn out that there was no Bigfoot, and that Sam was going to be hunting us. And it would turn out that Sam was the owner of the demon shape-shifting Spoopy. Not the actual Spoopy that we were looking for, but the demon Spoopy. And so we would end up defeating him through ridiculous results. I was going to have, a third character come in and really beat him, but then I take the credit for it. And then episode 4 was actually going to be a fourth wall breaking kind of thing, where we were going to reveal what the story is truly all about, which is Spoopy, the demon Spoopy, who we would have ended up calling Spoop Thulu, because it was going to turn out that it was actually Cthulhu, or at least you could call him Cthulhu. It's not literally Cthulhu, but the point is that it's the embodiment of misery and stagnation in your life and not moving on. And so theoretically he would have been called Cthulhu, in our version, named after the great dark one. And then so we would have called him Spoop Thulu. So Spoop Thulu, it turned out, was just trying to make my life miserable because I killed his physical form. So my story about how I live a whole life with the love of my life, in the full version of the monologue, which I cut some of it out in this, but in the full version, I say that I ran all the way to Canada, and that I met a girl and we fell in love, and I became we became famous movie makers. That was in the full thing, but like I said, I cut it down because I'm not a good actor. And so what's crazy is that I wrote the script for episode 2 before I met my girlfriend, who I am moving to Canada to go live with, because I'm in love with her. And so I wrote episode 2 before that happened. And then that happened in real life when I met her through Instagram. It's a long, cute story. We both like Game Grumps. I was featured on the Game Grumps Instagram. They reposted something I did. She saw it, thought I was cute. We started messaging, we started Skyping, fell in love. Full story. It's a great story. But so what would have been great was that the end of episode 4 would have been I overcome Spook Thulu. Also, the plot narrative would have been that the real life Kevin was looking for the real life Kyle, who is absorbed in the fictional character of Kyle. And so there's this whole goofy fourth wall breaking thing. So then I came up with the best idea ever to end it, which would have been something I could have never anticipated if I were writing the full 4 episodes before we made it, which is not how this at all worked. I wrote the first episode when Kevin and I were drunk and hanging out, and he was just laughing at everything I was writing because I was just reading it out loud as I was writing it. Because we've been wanting to make short films forever, but we're just so lazy, and so we never got around to it. So we finally did one. So that's how we wrote the first one. The second one, I wrote the whole thing by myself, and then I just read it, and then I sent it to Kevin. I'm like, do you think it's funny? And like, that's basically it. And I think I was getting high during that one. So, and episode 3 and 4 haven't been written yet, but I thought of the ideas, of course. So episode 4 was going to end with a weird real-life fiction meeting where it would have ended with I defeat Spook Thulu and I move to Canada with my perfect girl. And that would have been the series finale. And actually, I've invited Kevin to come to Canada with me. Obviously, I haven't left for Canada yet, so I don't know if he'll take me up on it or not. So then the idea could have potentially been DICKS Season 2. And, like, my girlfriend Katie would have been, like, the third character in it. It would have been Kevin, Katie, and I. And so that could have been, like, really cool, or even could be really cool, but I really doubt we're ever gonna do anything. So this is at least the end of DICKS as we know it, the way that I was planning to do it. So if it ever comes back, it'll be totally different, but probably not. I'll probably just make new short films with my girlfriend. But I will be making more stuff. I'll get actual actors at some point, hopefully, and I'll make real shit because that's what I love doing. I want to be a filmmaker. I don't want to be an actor. I hate being okay. I enjoy being in front of the camera. I hate acting in front of the camera, I should say. And so yeah, I'm gonna make more shit, but it's gonna be a while. So I thought instead of DICKS episode 2, what I had, instead of it just being a goofy little thing that Kevin and I can watch and laugh at, I thought I'd at least put it up on YouTube. But I wanted to add the context because it's not a full narrative. Plus, the real-life story, in my opinion, is way more interesting than what the fictional story could have been, because the real-life story impacted the fictional story in such a huge way that I could have never fucking anticipated. And again, I'm not making any of this shit up. That is 100% like the truth. It's just been nuts. 2020 has been a crazy fucking year. And so hopefully I'll get my passport soon. I've already got the info in, and then I'll just move to Canada and I'll be making more stuff. And maybe you'll watch some of that too. That'd be cool. Anyway, thanks so much for watching me talk for almost 10 minutes. And here is one last scene from DICKS episode 2, the episode that will never be. And this is Les Champions. Bringing it to you. Oh yeah!
What a fucking asshole.
What a fucking asshole. You know what? I bet that guy was French, because French people are just the goddamn worst. But now we need to get $10,000, and right now we just have to stay somewhere warm. Where can we... Kevin? Kevin!
Get in, honky.
Does this thing come with free candy, too?
I don't know. Check the carpets if you want to. But the neighbors always keep their keys in the visor.
Authorities are still searching for a noted serial killer known as the Butter Knife Killer. His identity is still unknown, his location is unknown, but the reward for him is $10,000 if he can be found.
That's it, Kyle. That's our case, man.
God damn it, Kevin! You picked a car that doesn't fucking work!
I didn't pick my neighbor's car, man.
Kyle! Dude, how you been?
You immediately broke the one rule that I gave you.
Rolling.
Alright, Kevin. So good.
Cut it.
Alright, go ahead.